For today's yoga, we're going to move at a much quicker pace today. So be prepared. We're going to take less time in between poses, flowing and making it more fluid today. So make sure you've had plenty of water to drink and you're properly hydrated. Let's begin here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Become very grounded. Make sure your muscles are tight and active. Close your eyes and feel your breath. Just going to stay here for a little bit, getting ready for today's session. Nice deep breaths in and out. And let's start with a double arm lift. Inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, bring your arms back down. You can see how this is going to flow nicely. Arms back up. Reach, exhale, bring your arms back down. And we're just going to flow right into the next rep here. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, same thing, arms back up. Exhale, arms back down. Left arm over in a side bend. I'm going to lift that arm over our head as much as possible. Make sure to lean back and lift your neck back as well, pulling it into some extension. Exhale, stand back up, bring your arm down for the right side. Inhale, the same thing. Try to extend your neck. Exhale, bring your arm back down, stand straight up, back to the left side. Bend and extend. Really want to feel your breath and how much effort you're putting into it. That will show you how much your body is fatigued. And for the right side again. Exhale and bring your arm back down. Double arm lift into forward bend. Uttanasana. Adding some movement if you want. Just reach down, letting gravity do the work. Still reaching down. Let your body hang. Add some movement in again if you want. I feel that this helps a lot when you add that movement in. Let's come up to halfway lift. Place your hands below your knees or above your knees for a little less difficulty. If your body's feeling tight, make sure that back is flat and straight though. Back to forward bend, Uttanasana. And stand all the way up. Relax. Let's flow right into the next rep. Standing forward bend. As far down as you can. Using gravity to your advantage. Deep breaths. And with each exhale, try to reach down just a little bit farther if you can. Let's inhale and come up to halfway lift. It's your preference on where you want to place your hands. Keep that back nice and active and flat. Exhale, come back down for a forward bend again. Inhale, stand all the way back up nice and slow. Reset to a nice mountain pose. Let's flow into another one here. Reach all the way down, Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Back nice and tight. Exhale, come back down. One more forward bend. And let's stand all the way up on the next inhale. Do a mountain pose. Place your hands together. Let's get ready for the hip hinge and rotation pose. Let's come to your left side. Place that right elbow on top of your left thigh. Hands together, pressing, adding pressure into each other. And make sure to look up towards the ceiling. And if you're feeling a little bit tired and out of breath, you can take a break if you want. Come back to mountain pose. And when you're ready, just rejoin wherever you're at. Now for the right side, on the hip hinge and rotation pose, same thing. Back to center, and then back to the left side again. Sure to press your hands together with enough pressure. Look up towards the ceiling. And just pay attention to your breath and feel wherever you're at with it. I want to pay attention to our bodies and listen to them right now. Back to center. Forward bend. Halfway lift. Forward bend once more. And inhale to stand all the way back up. Alright, let's get ready for the Sun Salutation series, which we learned from the last class. Still going to guide you in the same way. Here we go. Inhale, double arm lift, to forward bend, to halfway lift, back down to forward bend. Place your hands on the mat, shoot your feet back. Come to the push-up position or kneeling for the chaturanga. Lean forward and lower your body down. Ready for upward facing dog now. Press your body up with your arms to full length. Make sure your back is active and those anterior muscles on the front side are relaxed. You can look up. Shoot your hips up and back for downward facing dog, making your body into a pike position. You can bicycle your feet up and down, touching one heel to the ground at a time, or getting close to it as much as you can go. Make sure your arms and shoulders are active, supporting your body. Try to press your head through that space in between your arms. I know your muscles are feeling pretty fatigued right now. Mine definitely are, but work through it. And just make your feet static and drop both heels to the ground and hold. All right, step forward or jump, bringing both feet together into a forward bend. Coming up to halfway lift, forward bend, and then stand all the way back up to reset for the next repetition. I'm going to go right into it. Inhale, lift your arms, and flow down into forward bend. Halfway lift. One more forward bend. Place your hands on the mat and shoot your feet back to the push-up position or kneel down. You can lower down to chaturanga. Then push up to upward facing dog. So your arms are active, the back is working. And just come back to your attention on your breath. Shoot your hips up and back. For downward facing dog, bicycle your feet. And if you can, try to walk your feet just a little bit closer to your hands on this rep, even if it's just a half inch or two. Make your feet static and just hold the pose here. Step forward, bring your feet together into that forward bend. Halfway lift, that back tight and flat, back to forward bend, and then stand up nice and controlled. One more time. Inhale, lift your arms, flow down into forward bend, up to halfway lift, forward bend, hands on the mat, shoot your feet back, push-up position or kneeling, come down, push up to upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, shoot your hips up and back. Walk those feet just a little bit closer to your hands in the last rep. Work through that fatigue a bit here. Keep your body nice and tight, nice and solid. And step forward or jump, bringing your feet together. Forward bend, halfway lift. One final forward bend and stand up, controlled. Let's get ready for Virabhadrasana, mountain pose series. Let's get our feet set like we know how to do. Starting on that right leg forward. Lean forward and come to warrior one. Your body's probably feeling pretty tired right now. We got to work through it a bit. Let's come to warrior two. Keep holding, and for the next one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to place our hands behind our backs, interlace our fingers, and we're going to lean forward into that space in front of us. It's a modified forward bend, a different variation of that. And if you want, you can lift your hands off your back if you have the mobility for it. Let's stand back up, coming back to warrior two. And then step forward, bringing our feet together, switching to the other side. Get your feet set up in the same way as the other side. And get ready, lean forward, come to warrior one. And remember, you can let your arms rest out at the side at an angle if it's too hard to get your hands directly overhead. Come to Warrior 2, rotate those hips. Place your hands behind your backs, interlace the fingers, and then lean forward into that forward bend. And stand back up. Back to Warrior 2. For the last time. Step forward, bring your feet together. And we can relax, work down on our mats, come to the floor. You can come to Vajrasana, saddle pose, and just sit back on our feet. Wherever's most comfortable for you. Let's just take our time to recover. We only have this pose and child's pose next, so you can just calm down and relax. Start preparing yourself for that guided meditation on the Waking Up app after this. Let's lift our arms overhead, come to child's pose for a while here. Reach your arms and press them forward. Let your forehead rest on the mat. And just tell yourself what a good job you did in today's session. It was a pretty tough one. We're going to bend to the left now in child's pose. You can get a side bend as we do child's pose to add in more of a stretch. So you're going to place your left hand on top of your right hand and just reach over to that side. Let's come back to center. Regular child's pose for a moment, and then you can reach over to the right for that side bend. Place your right hand on top of your left. Reach down into that side. And let's come back to center, to child's pose again. Let your forehead rest on the mat. We're going to do a different variation of child's pose, so place your hands behind your back next to your legs and just let your forehead rest. This changes the orientation of our vertebral column, makes it more curved in a uniform fashion. And you can place your hands back on the floor and press back up to Vajrasana for a moment. And let's start to transition to that guided meditation on the Waking Up app. When you open it up, you can come to or go to day 4 of the intro course. And whenever you feel like you're ready, you can start that and complete it. And remember to either sit up with your legs crossed or lie down on the floor in Savasana pose. And I will be back with you next week for some more yoga.